Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm sure that you already picked up a lot of useful words which will be a great help for today's lesson. By now you are familiar with greetings, numbers to 100, alphabet, and some small introduction phrases. We will build on that and learn a lot of new things. So let's start. We have several ways to ask about the name. Kako se zoveš or kako se zovete, which means what's your name, or literally how are you calling yourself. So you see there are two different ways to ask, and kako se zoveš is informal way to ask. So if you are asking someone in the informal setting, for example, you are in the party and you see someone and you want to ask for a name, so you will ask kako se zoveš. Or if you are in your friend's house and there is a new person, probably you will ask kako se zoveš. But if you are in some formal setting, for example, you're meeting someone for a job interview, or teacher of your child, or someone who is older than you, then you will ask kako se zovete. People will also ask you kako se prezivaš or kako se prezivate, which means what's your last name. So kako se prezivaš, again, it's for informal situation, and kako se prezivate, it's for formal situation. We can repeat one more time. Kako se zoveš, kako se zovete, kako se prezivaš, kako se prezivate. Another way to ask is tko si ti, which literally means who are you? Or if it's a formal situation, you can ask tko ste vi, which is a formal way to ask who are you. You will notice that in Croatian language always you have a two form, which depends are you speaking in informal or formal setting. And now how to answer to these questions. You can say zovem se and then your name. Zovem se Ivana Kovač. My name is Ivana Kovač. Zovem se Matej Kralj. My name is Matej Kralj. So you just say zovem se and then your name and last name. If somebody is asking you specifically about your last name, then you say prezivam se. Prezivam se. So if someone asks you kako se prezivaš, then you will answer prezivam se and you will say your last name. Also, you can say my name is, moje ime je, and then your name and your last name. And don't forget that sometimes people will ask you kako se to piše, how do you spell it? So when you hear kako se to piše, then you need to spell your name and your last name. Personal names and the last names are always written with the capital letters. So first letter of your first name and your last name, it's always capital. The next question you can hear is odakle si or odakle ste, which means where are you from? So odakle si if it's informal, or odakle ste if it's a formal way. Also, sometimes you will hear odakle dolaziš or odakle dolazite, which is the other way to ask where are you from. How to answer to this question? You need to say ja sam iz, and then say the name of your country, iz, and then say the name of your city. Or you can say dolazim iz, name of your country, iz, name of your city. Answering to this question can be a little bit tricky. Nouns in Croatian language are declined. Every noun has 7 different shapes or cases. But for now, I will explain you how to change it in this sentence. So, as I said, first we put the country and then the city. Let's try with some countries. For example, we have Hrvatska and Pula. Hrvatska is country, Croatia, and Pula is the city in Croatia. So we see that both of them, Hrvatska and Pula, have a as an ending. In this case, we will just remove the a and instead we will put e. So we will say dolazim iz Hrvatske, iz Pule. Let's see another example. We have Russia, which is Russia, Moskva, Moscow. So we will follow the same rule. Dolazim iz Rusije, iz Moskve. Then we have Syria, Hama. So it's Syria, Hama. We would say dolazim iz Sirije, iz Hame. So the general rule is if country or city are ending with a, we would remove the a, and we will put e. So instead of a, when we say dolazim iz, we put e in the end of the country or city. For example, dolazim iz Sirije, iz Hame. But what if country doesn't have any vowel as an ending? So vowels in Croatian are a, e, I, o, u. So if there is no any vowel, for example, if we have Afghanistan, Kabul, so you see it ends with n and with l, what do we do? So in the case when country don't have any vowel, we will simply just add a. Dolazim iz Afganistana, iz Kabula. Let's try another. We have Iran, Teheran. Dolazim iz Irana, iz Teherana. General rule is if country has no vowels, we simply add a in the end. And what if country or city are ending with o? For example, we have Santiago. What do we do then? Then we simply remove o and add a again. So we say dolazim iz Santiago. Or one more example, if we have Morocco, we would say dolazim iz Morocco. So the general rule here is if the country or city are ending with o, when we say dolazim iz or jasam iz, we will put a. So this rule we apply if we say dolazim iz or if we say jasam iz. And also what's important to say that names of the countries and names of the cities in Croatian language are always starting with a capital letter. So the next question is koja je tvoja adresa or koja je vaša adresa? What's your address? To answer that, you will say moja adresa je, for example, moja adresa je Sarajevska cesta 22 Zagreb. Or moja adresa je ulica Milke Trnine 21 Zagreb. It is also important to notice that the first letter in the name of the street is always capital, and also if the street is named by a person, then also the personal name will be capitalized. If you have ulica Ivana Gorana Kovačića, also Ivana and Gorana and Kovačića will be with the capital letters because it's the name of the person. The next question you can be asked is koji je tvoj broj mobitela or koji je vaš broj mobitela? So what's your phone number? Koji je tvoj broj mobitela? And you will answer moj broj mobitela je, and then saying your number. For example, Moj broj mobitela je 098 943 7823. Another question can be, what's your mother tongue? Koji je tvoj materinski jezik? Or, koji je vaš materinski jezik? To answer that, you will say, moj materinski jezik je, and then say the name of your language. So most of the languages in Croatian end with ski, and some of them end with čki. For example, moj materinski jezik je hrvatski, Croatian. Or, moj materinski jezik je arapski, Arabic. Or, moj materinski jezik je kurdski, Kurdish. Or, moj materinski jezik je španjolski, Spanish. Moj materinski jezik je njemački, German. Moj materinski jezik je grčki, Greek. The next question will be, which other languages do you speak? Koje još jezike govoriš? Ili, or, koje još jezike govorite? So, koje još jezike govoriš? Or, koje još jezike govorite? And you can answer, govorim još, and then put the other languages. For example, govorim još engleski i francuski. I also speak English and French. Govorim još portugalski i njemački. I also speak Portuguese and German. So in the comments you will find a list of languages and countries. So let's practice together. Here you will see a profile of a person, so some basic facts about the person, and you can imagine that it's you and introduce yourself. So let's try. Yeah, so it is, ja sam Marija Sanchez, dolazim iz Španjolske, iz Madrida. Moja adresa je Kolarova ulica 5, Zagreb. Moj broj mobitela je 098 667 4852. Moj materinski jezik je španjolski, govorim još engleski i hrvatski. So can you now try to introduce yourself? We can do it together, so I will ask you questions and you can answer. So let's start. Dobar dan. Kako se zoveš? Odakle dolaziš? Koja je tvoja adresa? Koji je tvoj broj mobitela? Koji je tvoj materinski jezik? Koje još jezike govoriš? Yeah, I think you were very nice. So if you have someone, you can practice with this person. And if you are learning alone, you can always practice in front of the mirror. Maybe in the beginning it will look a little bit silly, but it helps a lot. So Have a nice day. Ugodan dan.